All right. Welcome to the deep dive.
Yeah.
You know the drill.
Yeah.
We dig into your sources and try to pull out the most insightful, juicy stuff to give you a real grasp of these ideas without having to spend hours sifting through it yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
This deep dive, though, is a little bit different because the source you sent us is actually an audio recording.
Oh.
And it's in another language, not English.
Okay.
So we won't be playing the audio itself, but we have a really detailed transcription. And let me tell you, this thing is packed with twists and turns.
Very good.
It's really a captivating story. And I think it has some really surprising lessons that we can extract from it for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even though the language might be inaccessible for some listeners, the story that is in the transcription, I think, offers a really great, way of looking at themes like, fate and choices and how all these things kind of are interconnected.
Yeah. I mean, even just setting the scene for you, right? So we're in Xinjiang, okay? And we're following this young scholar who's preparing for this super important exam, right? Like the kind of exam that could really make or break his whole future.
Amateur.
And initially, things seem to be going great for him, right? He aced the early exams.
Yeah.
So he's feeling super confident, maybe even a little overconfident,
Right.
And he's enjoying life at the end, right? He's drinking and socializing, just like a good time.
Yeah.
But here's where it gets interesting.
Okay.
Staying at that same inn is this fortune teller.
Okay.
And he's a physiognomist,
Right.
which for our listener who's not as familiar with that term, it was a serious practice back then, like interpreting someone's character and future from their facial features.
Gotcha.
And this guy is known for being unbelievably accurate.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that really sets up this fascinating dynamic, right? Because you have this scholar who's riding high on his success, and then you have this figure who represents uncertainty and the possibility of unforeseen events.
Yeah, it is this contrast, isn't it, like between the scholar who's so sure of himself and his future, and then this figure who represents that things could maybe not go according to plan.
Yeah, absolutely. And so the scholar is enjoying himself, right? He's feeling good about the exams he aced.
Yeah.
And he's got plenty of money, to enjoy himself and just relax.
Okay.
But then this one encounter happens, and it really sets the story in motion.
Oh, okay.
So one day he walks into the inn, and he's got this fish with him.
Okay.
And he's feeling pretty playful, I think.
Yeah.
And so he turns to this fortune teller and he says, "Hey, wise one, am I going to be able to eat this fish?"
Oh, wow.
So he's kind of testing him, right? Like challenging his renowned abilities.
It does seem like a challenge. Yeah, I mean, he must be anticipating that the fortune teller is going to say, yes, obviously, you're going to eat the fish.
Right. And then it kind of shows us how we approach things sometimes, right? When we feel like we're in control, we kind of assume everything's going to go our way.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's pretty human.
Yeah. But anyway, so the fortune teller, he looks at the fish.
Okay.
Then he looks at the scholar and he simply says no.
Oh, wow.
And the scholar immediately makes it
I
sound.
mean...
He's like, "No way I'm going to prove you wrong."
Ah.
So he has the fish cooked up, all nice and prepared.
Okay.
And then he invites the fortune teller to eat it, basically saying, "See, I told you so."
Well, that's a bold move.
Right. And, it's that impulse we have,
Right.
right? When someone says something we don't like, especially if we think it's unfounded, we want to prove them wrong.
Yeah, it's that need to be right.
Right. And in this case, it's not just about the fish. It's about challenging this fortune teller who seemingly has some, special knowledge.
Exactly. It's like he's saying you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And that's when things take a really crazy turn.
Okay, so what happens?
So picture this, they're about to eat.
Right.
And suddenly, this huge snake falls from the ceiling right out of nowhere.
Oh, wow.
And it lands right on the dish, completely smashing it.
Oh, my God.
I mean, just imagine the scene, right? The crashing dish, the snake, just total chaos and probably pretty frightening.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
And of course, the scholar's like, "Oh, wow, you were right.
Yeah.
He didn't get to eat that fish."
What are the chances?
Yeah. And it makes you wonder, right beyond the, cultural symbolism of the snake.
Yeah.
What does this say about our control over things?
Yeah.
How much is really up to us and how much is just pure chance?
Yeah, it's almost like fate intervened or something.
Right, and it really reinforces what the fortune teller said, even though it seemed like a pretty casual prediction at first.
Yeah, it's like he knew something was going to happen.
Right, and the scholar immediately acknowledges that.
Right.
But what I find really interesting is the fortune teller's reaction to all of this.
Oh, okay.
He's super humble about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, I was just joking around when I said no,
Oh, so he's downplaying it.
Right. And he's like, what does a little fish have to do with physiognomy anyway?
Yeah. So he's kind of deflecting a little.
Yeah, so it makes you wonder, is he really gifted in just being modest?
Right.
Or was this just a crazy coincidence that he's now downplaying, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it makes you think about how people with some kind of special insight or, knowledge present themselves.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, after this whole bizarre incident, the scholar is understandably shaken, right?
Yeah, you can imagine.
And so he decides to ask the fortune teller a more serious question.
Okay, what's that?
He asks him about the upcoming exam.
Oh, right, of course.
Will he pass?
Yeah.
And the fortune teller, he hesitates at first.
Oh.
Which, immediately signals that something's not right.
Yeah, like he's got bad news.
Right. And that pause really adds to the tension, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. I mean, especially after what happened with the fish, the scholar's got to be on edge waiting for the answer.
Exactly.
Mm.
And so the fortune teller finally delivers his prediction.
Okay, and what's he say?
And it's pretty grim.
Oh, no.
He tells the scholar that there's absolutely no chance he's going to pass. He claims that he sees the signs of death on the scholar's face.
The signs of death?
Yeah, and get this, he says they look like 3 willow leaves.
Oh, wow.
And he predicts that the scholar will die within 3 days far from home.
Oh, my goodness.
And he's so certain about it.
I mean, that's a very specific and very bad prediction.
Right? And can you imagine hearing something like that, right? The scholar must have been absolutely terrified.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
His first thought is to pack up and head home immediately.
Yeah, I mean, I probably would too.
Right, and it makes you think, right? Have you ever had someone make a prediction or, have an expectation for you that really impacted your choices?
Yeah, I mean, those kind of pronouncements, especially if they're negative, can really weigh heavily on your mind.
For sure. So you'd think that after a prediction like that, everyone would be telling him to go home right away.
Yeah, I mean, why risk it?
Right, but the other students at the end, they're like, nah, that's just nonsense.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they don't believe it at all. They're like, that fortune teller is just a quack.
Oh.
And they actually managed to convince the scholar to stay.
So he's not going home?
At least not right away.
Okay.
He's still at the inn, but he's obviously super troubled,
Right. Well, yeah, after hearing something like that.
And, this resistance to bad news or, things that challenge our worldview, I think it's pretty relatable even today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we see that all the time, right? People holding on to beliefs even when there's evidence to the contrary.
Right. So despite staying at the inn,
yeah,
the scholar can't shake off this feeling of dread,
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine being able to sleep after that.
Right. So the night before the big exam,
Yeah.
he can't sleep at all.
Poor guy.
He's tossing and turning, his mind is racing, thinking about the fortune teller's words.
Yeah, no wonder he can't sleep.
Right. And eventually he just gives up on trying to sleep.
Okay.
And he decides to go for a walk, just to clear his head.
Right.
And he ends up in this kind of deserted area.
Okay.
And that's when he hears it.
What's that?
Someone crying. And it's like this walk into the darkness kind of mirrors his internal state,
Yeah, it does, right? He's feeling lost and uncertain, and now he's literally in a dark, unfamiliar place.
Right. And he follows the sound of crying,
Mm-hmm.
and he finds this rundown house.
Oh, no.
And inside there's this woman, and she's sobbing uncontrollably, holding her 2 young children.
Oh, my goodness.
And he's really moved by her distress.
Yeah, of course.
So he asks her what's wrong.
Okay.
And her story is just heartbreaking.
Okay.
Turns out her husband owes money to this wealthy family.
Okay.
2 silver pieces to be exact.
Okay.
And because they couldn't pay it back, he was thrown in jail and beaten really badly.
Oh, that's horrible.
And to settle the debt, she's being sold as a servant.
Oh.
And the deal's already been made.
Oh, my God.
She's going to be taken away the next day,
Oh, no.
leaving her kids behind.
That's so sad.
I mean, it's such a contrast to the scholar's problems, right?
Yeah. I mean, his worries seem pretty insignificant now, right, compared to what this woman and her family are going through.
Yeah, it's like a reality check for him,
Yeah, for sure.
And so he hears this story, and he starts thinking about the fortune teller's prediction again,
Oh, okay.
And he thinks, well, if I'm going to die anyway,
Yeah.
what good is my money going to do me?
Right.
It's not like I can take it with me.
Yeah, that's not.
And so he has this change of heart, right?
Hey.
He decides that instead of worrying about his own fate, he's going to use his money to help this woman and her family.
Oh, wow. That's incredible.
Right. And it's a huge turning point in the story.
Yeah, absolutely.
It makes you wonder what sparked this act of kindness,
Yeah, was it just pure altruism or was it something else?
Right. I mean, was it just that he felt bad for her?
Yeah.
Or was it maybe that he was facing his own mortality and wanted to do something meaningful with his remaining time?
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Right. And so he asks the woman if it's too late to reverse the agreement, the sale.
Right.
And she said, no, it hasn't been finalized yet.
Okay.
So he's like, okay, go get the person who's buying you
Right.
and wait there.
Okay.
I'll be right back with the money.
Oh, wow.
And understandably, the woman is a little suspicious at first.
Yeah. I mean, who wouldn't be?
Right. She's like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
Why is he offering to help?
Right.
She's probably been through a lot,
Yeah. And probably hasn't had a lot of good experiences with strangers.
Right. But the scholar assures her that he's sincere.
Okay.
And eventually she agrees to wait.
Okay.
So he goes back to the inn and he gathers a good amount of silver.
How much are we talking?
70 pieces.
Okay, so it's a significant amount.
Yeah. And he goes back to the house and the woman's there.
Right.
And with her is an older man.
Okay.
And he's the one who's going to buy her.
Oh, wow.
So the Skullinger explains everything to the old man.
Oh.
And the old man is just blown away by the scholar's generosity.
Yeah.
And it turns out, get this, the old man and the woman's husband are old friends.
Oh, wow. What a coincidence.
Right. So he's like, absolutely, I'm canceling the sale.
Of course.
And he's so worried about his friend that he's going to go straight to the authorities to get him released from prison.
That's amazing.
Right. And the scholar even suggests that they use the leftover money
Oh, yeah.
to start a small business.
Oh.
So they don't end up back in this situation again.
That's so thoughtful.
And the old man is just incredibly grateful.
Yeah.
He keeps thanking the scholar and asking his name and where he's from,
Right.
And it really shows you how interconnected this community was.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like this random act of kindness had this ripple effect.
Right. And it makes you think, how often do these kinds of connections and these acts of generosity happen?
Yeah, that we might not even be aware of.
Right. So anyway, the scholar goes back to the inn,
Okay.
but he's still worried about the fortune teller's prediction.
Right.
It's still weighing on him.
Yeah, no wonder.
And he has trouble sleeping again.
Of course.
And then he hears the third watch,
Oh, yeah, the time the fortune teller mentions.
Yeah. And he's thinking, this is it.
Oh, no.
This is when I was supposed to die.
Oh, goodness.
But then
what happened?
there's a knock on his door.
Okay.
And he opens it. And it's the woman and her husband.
Oh, wow.
And the husband has been released from prison.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah, they came to thank the scholar for saving their family.
Oh, wow. So instead of death, he's greeted by this outpouring of gratitude.
Right. I bet he was so surprised.
Yeah, it must have been a really powerful moment for him.
Yeah, and then something even crazier happens.
Okay, what now?
He's back in his room.
Yeah.
And suddenly there's this huge crash.
Oh, no.
A whole section of the wall collapses.
Oh, my gosh.
Right onto his bed.
The bed he would have been sleeping in.
Yeah, the whole thing is destroyed. Bed, mosquito net, everything.
Oh, my goodness.
He's totally unharmed. But he ends up sleeping in another room for the rest of the night.
I mean, talk about a close call.
Yeah, it's hard not to see that as connected to the prediction, right?
Yeah, I mean, the timing is just too perfect.
Right, and so the next day, he runs into the fortune teller.
Okay.
And he's kind of joking about it,
Oh, really?
He's like, hey, your prediction was almost right.
Oh.
But the fortune teller, he hadn't heard about the wall collapsing.
Right.
And he looks at the scholar really intensely.
Okay.
And he's like, don't lie to me. You must have done something extraordinary last night.
Oh, wow.
And he says that all the signs of death have vanished from the scholar's face.
Really?
Completely gone.
Wow.
And now he sees signs of great virtue.
Oh, wow. So a complete reversal.
Yeah, and he completely changes his prediction.
What does he say now?
He says that not only will the scholar not die,
Okay.
but he's going to pass the exam.
Wow. So doing a good deed actually changed his fate.
Right. And the fortune teller even says that if the scholar hadn't accumulated so much good karma, he definitely would have died.
It really makes you think about the power of our actions, right?
Yeah, it's like our choices can actually influence our destiny.
Absolutely.
So anyway, the story ends with the scholar passing the exam with flying colors.
Oh, wow.
And he gets admitted to the Hanlon Academy.
Okay. And remind our listener what that is.
Oh, yeah. So the Hanlon Academy was like the most prestigious institution back then.
Okay.
Like a huge honor to be a part of.
Gotcha.
And it usually led to a really successful career,
Yeah. It's like the Ivy League of ancient China.
Exactly. And the source specifically states the moral of the story.
Okay. What's that?
It says that doing good deeds can actually change your destiny,
Oh, wow.
and that this was like a golden rule for the ancients.
Mm.
So it makes you wonder, how many people in China today still believe that?
Yeah, that's a really good question.
Right. And I think it's a really powerful message.
Yeah, it
It
is.
shows that fate might not be set in stone.
Right.
And that even small acts of kindness can have huge and unexpected consequences.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I think we've uncovered some pretty amazing stuff from your source material.
Yeah, I mean, this story about the scholar and the fortune teller and that snake,
I know, right?
it really shows you how unpredictable life can be.
Yeah. And how our actions really can shape our future.
It definitely makes you think about the choices you make and how they might affect not only your own life, but the lives of others.
Right. And so we want to leave you with this final thought.
Okay.
What walls in your own life might crumble
Hmm.
when you choose to be kind?
Yeah, that's something to think about for sure.
Yeah.
Thanks.